With all the found evidence within history, we can tell that gender equity is a good example of the ever-changing legacy of history from the Paleolithic times in Mesopotamia to the Gothic era of Europe. The art itself has evolved and progressed in ways that affect both the creator and the viewer. Over the past centuries, gender equity has been controversial in both politics and arts. In a continuation from the beginning, it is found that each artistic era contains its own ways of depicting gender equity through representations of women and men sculptures that bring out this question: in gender equity, is equity enough? As a child-bearer, Paleolithic Venus had an outstanding role in her society. Because of lack of writing, there is not a clear statement of gender equity at that time. Breast-out admired women as their power of fertility, not sexual. Because of childbearing capabilities, women were respected by men during that period. She was the first woman whose name has been recorded as a monarch. Because of gender inequity, she has to use the word His Majesty for announcing her, and also wore king dress and using fake beard. Athena, as a goddess of wisdom, was a main key for Heracles succeed in his journey for immortality. She always supported him, but in silence. Her attendance behind Heracles shows that she as a woman was not higher or an equal level of Heracles as a man. Women look like serving the philosopher. They are not students to show equality between men and women in education. It seems Athena as a war goddess was more active than as a wisdom goddess. Although it is magnificent that she participated in war, but it looks she fought with imaginary enemies like snakes instead of male human or gods. The first known instance of the presence of Mary with the disciples at Pentecost territory over everything was given to both women and men equal. But it didn't make an equity between men and women in daily life. Hildegard became a nun when she was 15. Then, God instructed Hildegard to disclose her visions to the world at age 42. She was not only the most famous Romanesque nun, but also the only learned woman of her age. Caring and motherly aspect of Mary gives the sense of feeling safe and protected. As Mother of Sons God, it presents that women act as bridge to connect God with humans. In spite of this connection, there is no more equity for women. In Germany, women had more respect after Christianity. Faith in the Virgin Mary who become a woman of God represents this respect, but not equity. In her sorrow all men were standing around her body, the only woman there, was sitting on the floor, in lower level of men. Throughout history it is clearly evident that gender equity was non-existent and man was seen as the superior being. Although women were considered to have a sort of importance to society as seen from Paleolithic works through Byzantine works, there was a difference in treatment when compared to a man. The change in women's roles had taken a different turn upon the depiction of women through works depicting goddesses and women of importance. Even though gender equity has not yet been totally achieved in today's society, there has been quite a huge development. Only time can tell whether or not everyone will be treated fairly and justly. Overall, each artistic age ranging contain its own ways of depicting gender equity through representations of women and men sculptures that brings out this question: in gender equity, is equity enough?